Mahalo to HawaiiActivities.com for sponsoring this video.
In this video, we talk about 5 reasons why you should do a hiking tour here in Hawaii.
For more Hawaii videos, make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell so you're alerted every time we post a new video.
Aloha, I'm Mariam, and this is Yes to Hawaii. We make Hawaii videos, take the guesswork out of planning your trip. As always, I'll leave timestamps in the description box below, so feel free to skip around the video for the parts that you came here for. Are you visiting the islands and you've already done the usual Diamond Head hike and Manoa Falls? Or maybe you've been here for years and you're looking to try something new. Now, while these 5 reasons are in relation to hiking tours here in Hawaii, they can actually be applied for hiking tours anywhere. In this video, we're gonna go over my top 5 reasons why you should do a hiking tour. Number 1, you're on vacation and you're short on time. Vacation time is valuable and oftentimes there isn't enough. As an example, years ago when I visited New Zealand, I was staying in Auckland. I had a bunch of different activities planned over the week that I was there, and I only had a very limited window of free time. I had about half a day to use, and I was looking to do something that would fit within that time constraint. If you've never done a particular trail before and you're unfamiliar with the area, it can be tricky sometimes to find the trailhead. And if again you're short on time and you get lost, it would be difficult. I live here on Oahu, and not too long ago I did the Olomana Trail. It's also known as 3 Peaks. We went on a surprisingly busy day, and when we got to the area where we thought we were supposed to park, there wasn't an area to park. Instead, that area was marked off with lots of towway signs, and we had to find alternate parking and then walk back up to the trailhead. And even then, we had difficulty finding the trailhead. For myself and my friend, we had the whole day free. We lived here on the island. So these few things were a few hiccups, but overall it was fine because we had the entire day free. However, if you're on vacation and you're short on time, these little hiccups could affect other things throughout your day. For example, if you decide to go on a hike in the morning and then that afternoon you have a luau or a sunset cruise booked and you're running a bit late because of the morning hike, that could cause a problem. Reason number 2, you want to hike but with minimal preparation. With all the hustle and bustle that comes before planning a trip, oftentimes you don't have time to research what hikes that you want to do. You want to do a hike in Hawaii and you just want to show up and hike. This is reason number 2 why you should book a hiking tour. Once you book a hiking tour, that's pretty much all you need to do. Depending on the company, they'll typically email you a list of recommended things that you should bring, and oftentimes, all those things are included as part of the tour price. For example, ponchos if it rains, bug spray, sunscreen, hiking sticks, water, snacks, whatever you need on the hike, oftentimes the hiking tour will have that included as part of the tour. You don't have to fill up your valuable luggage space for things that you're only going to use once or twice in your entire vacation. You also don't have to hassle with renting a car. You don't have to worry about finding gas stations. You don't have to worry about an international driver's license if you're traveling from outside the US. You don't have to worry about driving on the opposite side of the road if you're traveling internationally. You don't have to worry about paying for expensive parking at your hotel. And depending on where you rent a car and what's available, it might actually be cheaper to do a tour. If you're only renting a car to go to a hike, and let's say you're 1 or 2 people, when you take into account the cost of the car rental, gas, insurance, parking at your hotel, it can add up really quickly. Sometimes if I'm on complete vacation mode, I like the idea of being picked up at my hotel, round-trip transportation to and from the hike. I can spend more time on the hike itself instead of getting myself to the hike and looking for it. Number 3, you want to try an unfamiliar trail. I absolutely love hiking. I got more into it, like I said, in quarantine of 2020, and I tried different trails. If you've been on this channel since we started last year, you'll know a lot of the videos that we posted initially were all hiking videos. It was essentially a compilation of things I learned on specific hikes, what to wear, what to bring, footage of what the actual trailhead looked like, as well as footage of the hike itself. For some people, this is one of their first hikes in Hawaii, or they're a complete beginner hiker. It can create a little bit of anxiety. This is reason number 3 why you should do a hiking tour. You're a beginner hiker and you like a little bit extra guidance on a new hike. The trails typically chosen for hiking tours tend to be crowd favorites. They're usually beginner to intermediate trails for most fitness levels, and they're typically very well maintained. But of course, there are some specialty hiking tours for more advanced hikers. If you've made it this far, what are some of your favorite hikes here on the island? Comment down below. Reason number 4, you want to learn a little bit more about the hiking trail than just go for a hike. For some people, you want to hike to be outdoors, whereas other people want to learn more about the area that they're in. If you're interested in learning about the area that you're in, as well as plants that you're going to be seeing on the hiking trail and getting more in-depth knowledge about it, you might like a hiking tour. As an example, a few years ago, I went to Greece and I visited the Acropolis. Some of my friends decided to pay for just admission, and then my friend and we decided to pay for admission plus a guided tour. It completely changed our experience. We learned a lot of different things about the Acropolis that we normally wouldn't have, and my friend and we didn't have very much time to research the Acropolis, so paying for the tour allowed us to learn so much more about the Acropolis than we normally would have. Hiking tours are similar in that regard too. If you're really interested in the history and the culture of the area that you're in, you might enjoy a hiking trail to get that in-depth knowledge from a guide. Similarly, when I visited New Zealand and I was in Auckland, I did a hiking tour. That way I could learn a little bit more about the area that I was in. And yes, I could have gone on my own and I could have gotten a travel guidebook and read it, but it was really nice to have a local guide pick me up at my hotel, take me to the hiking tour, give me all this information, and even suggest some really cool hole-in-the-wall spots for lunch after the tour. Number 5, you want to meet other hikers. Sometimes when I'm traveling alone, I still want to go hiking, but I don't necessarily want to go hiking in an area that I'm unfamiliar with alone. If I'm traveling internationally, I might have spotty phone service, and everyone's background and level of comfort is different. Sometimes going on an organized hiking tour takes a lot of the stress and anxiety out of the actual activity and allows me to have more fun on the activity itself. If you're getting value from this, hit the like button, and that way you'll see more videos like this. Recently, I did a hike with Bike Hawaii Tours. They take you on a volcanic rainforest hiking tour up Mount Tantalus. All the footage that you've seen throughout this video is from that hike. If you've already done the extinct volcanic crater Diamond Head, this hike might be for you. Total elevation was about 600 feet. The guide tells you about indigenous plant species while you're hiking on the trail, plus you learn a little bit about Hawaii's culture and its history. The hike is gorgeous, and you see a lot in a small amount of time. This hike was pretty cool because it's actually 3 trails that connect into one. Plus, this is a hike that I hadn't done before, so it was cool for me too. And I'm also really interested in history, so that's a plus. Overall, I had a great time, and it was a short hike that only took about half a day. I'll leave a link in the description box below if you're interested in doing this particular hike. And if you like this video, you'll like our next video, what to pack on a day hike in Hawaii. I absolutely love being outdoors. During quarantine of 2020, when pretty much everything was shut down, I got more into hiking with a few friends. And if you've been with us here on this channel since we started, the first few videos were all hiking videos. But as things in Hawaii slowly reopened, we started filming more things such as restaurants, activities, beaches, and more. I really liked making hiking videos. As a new-ish hiker, I would do a hike and then take mental notes of things I wish I knew before the hike. And I like sharing that with other people. I think sharing knowledge like that makes hiking safer and more accessible for everyone. It makes it easier to let you know what you're getting yourself into and for you to choose the right hike for you and your fitness level. And it could help prevent potentially life-threatening medevac or helivac rescues. Because for me, when I found a hike and I didn't really like it, it often had nothing to do with the hike itself, but rather how unprepared I was for the hike. Whether it was a much more difficult hike than anticipated, I didn't bring enough food or water, I got lost on the trail, I had trouble finding parking. There was always something that went wrong in the hike, which made it a bit more difficult for a new hiker starting out. Oftentimes, the videos or blogs that I read were outdated or they were seasonal. As a simple example, if you were doing the Manoa Falls hike and you didn't know that that area has lots of mosquitoes, if you didn't bring bug spray, you did the hike and were eaten alive by mosquitoes, naturally you might like that hike a little bit less than somebody who was more well prepared. Overall, when it comes to hiking, the more knowledge you have, the better and safer it is. One of my favorite hiking apps to use is All Trails, and I definitely recommend that you download it. It's a free app, and it's kind of like the Yelp of hiking. Within the app, it has lots of information about specific hiking trails, and there's even a place for users to submit their own reviews and updated information on hikes that they do. Now, before I do a hike, I like to read through those reviews so I can see any updated information from somebody who's done the hike recently. Something that might be important to know, such as if parts of the trail were completely washed out because of the rain. And if you do go on a hike and you have the app and you finish a hike, take a few minutes to just update the review. That way other people can know that information. Mahalo to HawaiiActivities.com for sponsoring this video. They have activities like this one for Oahu and the neighbor islands. We also have a coupon code for subscribers. When you go to book, type in yes to Hawaii with 2 as the number 2 for a 5% discount on anything you book. If you're interested in this activity or other Oahu activities, I'll leave a link in the description box below. I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if there's any other Hawaii videos you'd like to see, definitely leave them in the comments down below.